Wearing recorders, I turn you niggas to mortars. If you ride, then I ride. If you slide, then I slide. I don't care if we fail, long as we said we try. If you cry, then I cry. If you die, then I die. We used to be a crazy team, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. If you ride, then I ride. If you slide, then I slide. I don't care if we fail, long as we say we try. If you cry, then I cry. If you die, then I die. We used to be a crazy team, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Up the hill.
Any nigga get killed. That's why we live by the slogan, never ran, never will, unless we doing deals, moving pills, or we moving krills. Yo, y'all still tuned in there? Yes, sir, this is your boy Harlem Smiley, man, and you are tuned into the one, the only, Dirtgangtv. So, today, top 10 deadliest places in Queens. And I see the comments. I know sometimes I don't respond to them, but I see the comments. I understand. Like in Brooklyn, for instance, a lot of y'all said East New York should have been higher, Fort Greene should have been higher, Coney Island should have been lower. I mean, I understand. Some people in Long Island said Valley Stream, Roosevelt, Elmont should have been honorable mentions. Y'all absolutely right. I understand. But this one, this is the Harlem Smiley's top 10 deadliest places. So I'm going off of my experiences plus some statistics. And it is what it is. I still see y'all in there. I don't care how much y'all may agree, may disagree. Ain't nobody saying, it's wrong. Oh, this place should have been. Listen, y'all got YouTube. Y'all make your own top 10 places. Or maybe y'all haven't been to a lot of these places. But it's my experiences, man. Y'all still can't sit in there on that couch and not get no money. You know the slogan, man. You can't get no money when you in there sleep on the couch. Come on. Like, what we got to do? It's Monday. Kids online schooling. Everybody else out there at work, probably on the block making money. And look at you. You in there, sitting there looking at my uncut edges. It's too early, man. Let's get into it, man. Dirtgangtv, we roll.
Yikes. We did it again. Around the Clock Records. Sheesh. Dirt Gang. We got another one. Hey, y'all know what time it is, man. I'm on my own facts, the D unknown maps. Lit the fuse to the track.
Queens, New York. You know what I'm saying? Queens get the money long time. Yo, listen. Y'all be trying to shit on Queens like Queens ain't one of them boroughs. I'm a Brooklyn representative. Everybody already know that. But y'all be trying to shit on Queens. You know what I'm saying? Queens get that money out there. Oh. But before we get into all that, damn, I'm syncing up before I'm slipping. It don't matter what it is y'all rolling. That Kush, whether it's an indica, sativa, hybrid, hopefully not that regular, but it is what it is. To each his own. Whether if y'all roll it up in a Swisher, a Backwood, a Dutch Master, a Philly, a Game, a Whiteout, Fonto, with the roll paper, of course. Zigzag, bongs, bamboo paper. If y'all still smoking bamboo, it's time to sync up, man. Grab your lighters, man. I had one on reserve. Lighters up. All right, Queens. I'm going to find my bride in Queens. No Eddie Murphy shit. All right, let's get into it, man. Number 10 on the list. I don't know why they call this that, because the shit is far as fuck from Long Island. Long Island City. Number 10. Stand up. I'm not even gonna lie. When I was getting kicked out of schools when I was younger, they took me. I went to Chelsea. Then I got kicked out of Chelsea. They put me in the vocational shit right down the block. I got kicked out of that. Then they sent me to Springfield and Queens. Got kicked out of that because I wasn't even going. Then upon me looking for those for my next high school, my moms took me to Long Island City to look at Long Island City High School. And I'm like, nah, this shit why do they call it that? It's nowhere near Long Island. It's the opposite part of it's mad far. Anyway, Long Island City, a lot of gangs out there. Long Island City has a lot of different nationalities inside of Long Island City. You can see a lot of Spanish people, you can see a lot of Asian people, you can see a lot of blacks. It's a lot of those different gangs that's out there too. A lot of people don't realize like Queens is not just consist of like Bloods, Crips, GDs, even though it's a lot of Bloods, Crips, and GDs. You find a lot of MS-13 in Queens. You find a lot of the Asian gangs, the hell is they called? Something Dragons, you know what I'm saying? Like they got a bunch of like the Asian gangs and all that in Queens. It's a lot of different nationality of gangs in Queens. Like when I used to go to Queens, you could see any kind of gang. But Long Island City, it's number 10. The crime rate out there done skyrocketed. It wasn't like that back in the day, but in the last 20 years, the crime rate done skyrocketed out there. Long Island City used to be one of those places to where if you lived in Queens, you lived in Long Island City, you know, you wasn't look like you was balling, but it wasn't like you looked down upon. Like you can move from other places in Queens and go to Long Island City and be like, all right, it's a little bit more safer. Y'all better stop trying to shit on Queens out there, man. Queens get the money. Y'all heard smack. Anyway, Long Island City. Shout out to everybody in Long Island City. Long Island City not really like, I don't know. It's not raggedy, but it's kind of raggedy for Queens. But when you think of Queens, you're not thinking of Long Island City being raggedy. But you got to be careful because it's a lot of different nationality of gangs out there. That's why Long Island City gets number 10. Let's keep it rolling. Corona, Queens. Corona. Now, Corona's not one of the, that's number 9. Excuse me, number 9. Corona, Queens. Shout out, I think DNA is from Corona, Queens. Corona, Queens is weird. And I looked up the Asian gang too, because they in Corona, Queens too. The Flying Dragons. What y'all know about the Flying Dragons? Flying Dragons is, or you know what it is? Corona, Queens. I didn't really have too much knowledge on Corona, Queens. Corona, Queens is a good place to go shopping for furniture. But when you over there, it's like, damn. You can literally see somebody get robbed in the daylight in Corona, Queens. Corona, Queens has the most like daytime robberies in Queens, period. And I told y'all, this is based off my experience in Queens. This is based off a little bit of statistics. You gotta have statistics with it. I can't think, oh, this part of Queens is gangster, but because I've been there back in the day in the 90s, but now in 2000s, it's been gentrified. You see what I'm saying? Like, so you know, got to throw a little research in there. But Corona, Queens gets a little crazy in Corona, Queens. You could be, I mean, listen, let's be for real. Anybody ever been around Mets, the damn stadium over there? It's gritty when you get off the train and all that over there. You see what I'm saying? Even under the train station. You got to, listen, I tell people all the time, when you in New York City, I don't got too much knowledge of Staten Island, but the couple of times I did live in Staten Island, it didn't look like it was peaches and cream over there. You got to be careful when you in the whole New York City, but these are just specific areas. When you in these specific boroughs or outer boroughs, you got to be careful for them. You see what I'm saying? Especially in Long Island. I thought Long Island was all peaches and cream. It's just like the worst, the more you go east, you start getting the houses and shit, but it's still raggedy and it's still ghetto out there. See what I'm saying? Corona, Queens. A lot of people look at Corona, Queens and be like, oh yeah, we gonna be over here, get a super small apartment, ride the trains to work, go to the Mets game. You gonna get robbed in the daytime. You're gonna get robbed. Trust me. I spent a lot of time in Queens. You can't be too, listen, even in Springfield, Bayside, you got to be careful. Anyway, shout out to everybody in Corona, Queens, number 9. And listen, y'all might hear me mention a place that's inside of a place in Queens. Who the fuck cares? Because it's different. Like Brownsville is in Brooklyn, but obviously Brownsville is just like its whole entity. Y'all get it. Anyway, Queens Village, number 8, Queens Village. So, yeah, Queens Village looks exactly how it sounds, but don't get it twisted for 1 second. And it's a lot of people for something like, I ain't gonna lie. When we was younger, living in Brooklyn, we was always taught to don't do dirt. Don't do dirt where we live at. So we didn't do dirt specifically in Brooklyn. So once I started, like, when we used to rob people and all that too, we used to always go to the Bronx. I mean, not the Bronx. We used to always go to Manhattan, or we would always go to Queens. So once I started actually going to Manhattan, and I'm saying that's where predominantly my set was at, I couldn't really be robbing people inside of Manhattan. I'm in Brooklyn all the time. You don't want to shit where you eat. It's simple. So Queens was the spot. But then I ended up moving to Queens. So now it's like I'm in Harlem with the set. I lived in Brooklyn, born and raised, family live out there all my life. But now I also live in Queens. I don't go to Staten Island. People in the Bronx really don't got no money. Shout out to the Bronx. The Bronx is really, I'm saying, you don't go to the Bronx to rob people. You might get robbed by the person you trying to rob. Anyway, whole nother blog for a whole nother time. But Queens Village, before I actually moved to Queens, was one of those places to where I tried to go on a little spree. Didn't quite work out. You know what I'm saying? Then let's just say we ain't gonna put it on here. It's certain stories that I didn't put on here for a reason. Let's just say it didn't work out. That's when I had a whole newfound respect for Queens Village. Queens Village got, I ain't gonna lie, it goes down in Queens Village. There's a lot of gangbangers in Queens Village. Queens Village got Crips inside of it. Queens Village got Bloods inside of it. But I mean, there's a lot of Crips and Bloods inside of Queens Village. You see what I'm saying? So I know Queens sound like, you know, for that people who live outside of New York, never really been to New York. But when you think of Queens, don't look at like Coming to America. Yeah, it was gritty then. Think of like Nas, Jungle. You know what I'm saying? You know, Dave East is like a Queens representative. Noriega, Capone. When you think of Queens, think of that. See what I'm saying? Mobb Deep. Think of that when you think of Queens. It's not what you think. This is not Laurelton. Laurelton? That's how you put it? Laurelton? I don't know. Y'all live from out there. Y'all know. Anyway, shout out to Queens Village. Number 7. Iraq. A.K.A. Left Rack. What? Yo. Shout out to Noriega. Noriega's from Left Rack. What? I ain't gonna lie. So the crazy part about Left Rack, right? I told y'all, a lot of y'all who watch my story, y'all know my mom's was a correction officer in Rikers Island for many years. So Left Rack is in Queens, which they used to call that Iraq, because them, listen, that whole area of them projects is crazy. So where all of the COs go to their doctor and all that is right there in front of Left Rack. You know what I'm saying? So me, I'm one of the biggest Noriega fans ever. So once I got older and all that, and my moms used to go to the doctor, I never used to want to go with her to the doctors. See what I'm saying? But once I got older and realized, yo, this is the projects Noriega from. See what I'm saying? I strolling through the projects, I'm about 14, 15 years old. What? That project, I don't know how it is now. I really don't know specifically how it is, that project now. But that project used to have 1 million Bloods inside that project. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just strolling through, just looking. One time I brought my basketball, actually played played at the court right there. I was a youngin' though. You know what I'm saying? 14, 15 years old. I ain't got no drama stories, nothing for y'all. But I'll be a fool to tell you, rolling through there, seeing all them people standing in there, that's not the place just to go. They named that Iraq for a reason. One of the top places in shootings, and not even in Queens. If you look up top 25 places in New York City shootings, Left Rack City, whatever y'all want to call it, Left Rack, the actual projects, Iraq, whatever y'all want to call it, a lot of shootings happening there. See what I'm saying? And because it's mad ways in and out. Mad ways in and out. You got the highway right there. It's mad ways in and out there. Only problem is, boy, you too close to Rikers Island. I mean, you ain't no telling who you gonna run into over there. And because it's like a doctor office for where correction officers and police go to, where correction officers and cops go to, so you can get caught by an off-duty cop doing something. See what I'm saying? It's too risky over there. But the gang violence is crazy over there too. I ain't gonna lie. Last time I looked in there, they had like kings inside of there. They had mostly Bloods inside of there, but I really didn't see too much Crips. And listen, it might be now, might not. I don't know what's in there now. A lot of these places is like, if I don't have family too, I'm not still visiting, but I still got to give y'all how it was back in the day. If it's a little different now, if y'all didn't know, now y'all know. Left Rack City. I don't know how it is now, but it used to be crazy back in the day. Shout out to Norwood. It's one of my favorites, man. What? Nah. Somebody go get the dollar van right now. I'm going to Rosedale, Rochdale. Sorry, I almost call it Rochdale. Because I ain't going to lie, they call that shit Rochdale. Rosedale, dollar van, Rosedale, Rochdale. What? When I used to live on Guard Brewer, that was my dollar van right there. Rosedale, Rochdale. So I was like, yes, I know. Some of the most expensive project apartments, but they not really projects, but they are. I ain't gonna lie, right? Like when you look in the movie Belly, you on Guard Brewer, you get down by the conduit and all that. Those buildings over there had some of the biggest apartments inside. You go in there, there's a door person inside of there. It's clean inside of there. The elevators don't smell like piss. But you look at them from the outside, they look exactly like projects. So from the outside looking in, I'm not staying in there. But my uncle used to have an apartment inside of there. From the outside looking in, outside, bunch of raggedy kids outside. They playing basketball. People outside drinking. Cookouts in the little project park. Smoking. The usual project shit. But once you go inside and you like, damn, it's clean in here. The hallway clean. It's a long hallway to get to the elevators too. The manipulation. Rosedale and Rochdale is two different spots. But today, y'all gonna be peanut butter and jelly. Y'all gotta stick together like glue to paper. See what I'm saying? Especially because all the dollar vans, you're not gonna find one just going to Rosedale, one going just to Rochdale. There's always a combination. I ain't take the dollar van in a long time. I don't take public transportation. I mean, I always had a car since 16. I done took public transportation back and forth. But back when I used to live on Guard Brewer and Foch, that was a dollar van I had to take back before they started kicking the dollar vans off Jamaica Avenue, when they could just sit right there by the train station, whether you get up either side, before they built all that mall and all that shit down there. See what I'm saying? You jump on that dollar, Rosedale, Rochdale, and it was really $1 for the dollar van. When the time I moved to Queens, I think they had moved up to $1.25. That's because the buses had moved up from $1.50 to $2. Old head shit. But Shout out to all my dollar van riders. See what I'm saying? Rosedale, Rochdale got a lot of guard bodies in it. I don't know, back in the day, that's where a lot of the guard bodies used to be at. You hear peace guard, peace guard, peace guard all day. Also had a lot of bloods over there inside of those projects over there. When I lived in Queens, there was only a very selective few spots that had Crips in it. Now I know it's different. There's Crips all in Queens Village, a bunch of places, but Jamaica, Queens only has specific pots. Pots. So I'm smoking. Only have specific spots where Crips was actually at. But now it's a lot of Crips in Queens. See what I'm saying? A lot of GDs used to be in Queens. I don't know about now. I know there's still some GDs in Queens. But yeah, man. I'm saying, yeah, Rosedale, Rochdale, aka they used to call that Roachdale. I don't know if they still call it Roachdale because it's a little filthy out there. Roads a little filthy out there. I'm gonna spend a little bit more time on this one because it's two places. Roads a little filthy out there. It's a little filthy out there. But some of the best Chinese food you can get in Queens. I'm not even gonna lie. Good food over there if you're not off of like Jamaica Avenue and all that. Hillside and all that. Anyway, shout out to Rosedale. Shout out to Rochdale. Shout out to all my dollar van riders and drivers. They still got dollar vans out there? I don't know. I think they shut that whole dollar van shit down. But, man, it wasn't nothing like them pulling that dollar van open with that string. With the string, y'all remember the string? You get to your stop. Yo, right here on the corner. You know what I'm saying? You busting with the little, you know what I'm saying? You busting with, no, did you have to pay before you get in? Nah, you pay on the way out. You busting with the little dollar. They pull that string, zzz, you know what I'm saying? You ever been in a dollar van when a dollar van got pulled over? What? I've been in the dollar van when a dollar van got pulled over and the dollar van driver didn't have no license. They take him to jail and all that. How many of us is in there? 3, 6, 9, all 12 of us plus the other Jamaican dude that's just taking a ride for the ride. He don't got no license neither. We got to sit there, wait for the whole other dollar van to bring another driver to drive that dollar van. They just drive like it's no problem. You ever been in a dollar van when somebody didn't have that dollar on their way out? Oh no, they pulling that dollar van right where I talk about you not got my dollar. Listen, don't try to shit on Queens. Queens get the money. I see some crazy shit. Anyway, shout out to Rosedale, Rochdale. One of the crazy dollar van lines I've ever been on. See some funny shit in the dollar van. You ever been in the dollar van and there's somebody in this dollar van that it's somebody outside the dollar van that know that person about to pull up in the dollar van and they on the outside waiting and you notice to stop. You notice to stop. You done been on the dollar van with this person mad times. But they scared to death to get out that dollar van. They go to the next stop. See the person follow the dollar van. I done seen this with 2 feet anyway. Number 5 on the list. Hollis, Queens. Shout out to LL Cool J. Run DMC. I ain't gonna lie. Now that I'm going through these places, I'm starting to realize Queens got a lot of notable rappers that's from different parts of Queens. Shout out to LL. This wasn't planned or nothing. Shout out to LL Cool J and Run DMC. All right. Hollis, right? So it's very weird. Only really good experience I got with Hollis, like my grandmother, when she moved from Brooklyn, she lived off of Hollis, like off of Hillside Avenue. When I was younger, I told y'all when I used to live in Queens on Guard Brewer, especially when I went to Springfield High School. Not Springfield High School. Yeah, I was still running around on Hillside Avenue then. But when I went to August Martin High School in the summertime, that's when I really started like, going up there a lot in that area. So it's like I used to always think Hollis was Jamaica, because I ain't gonna lie, like Jamaica, Queens is like, we ain't gonna go too far. Hollis is raggedy. If you talking about like, if you from Brooklyn and you want to live like you lived in Brooklyn and you want to go to Queens, you will go to Hollis. Hollis got like, I wouldn't call them brownstones, but they got them little houses that got 3 apartments in it. It's a lot of those inside of there, but it's not like it's a bunch of projects running around. I think there's only like 2 projects I could think of that's in Hollis, but they don't got like a bunch of projects just like running around there too. So it's like, but it's raggedy as fuck. I ain't gonna lie though, if you live anywhere in like the Brownsville area outside the projects, you will feel comfortable living in Hollis. Roads is raggedy, just the same to my potholes. What? Did they fix Hillside Avenue up? To my, you got potholes, you can fit half of cars inside of there. Destroyer axle on. Listen, I don't care how much Run DMC used to rap about being in Hollis on Christmas. That's a myth. Don't go to Hollis. Listen, the crime rate is so close to Jamaica, but at the same time, it's just like, don't go to Hollis. Don't go to Hollis, Queens. LL Cool J and them came there for a reason. Well, you from Hollis? I'm about to say we got a Hollis representative in here, but nah. Nobody represents Hollis except for LL Cool J and Run DMC. Why? Because that shit's raggedy as anyway. Nah. It's too early for that shit. Number 4. Jackson Heights. Not Hewitt. Jackson Heights. Oh my God. What is that? The G train that used to go over there? The G train? I ain't even gonna lie. Jackson Heights, especially that is I used to see the most high school fights ever in Queens. We used to go over there. Once upon a time when I wasn't going to my summer school and I was going over there to their summer school, man, Jackson Heights is fucked. Yo, listen. Jackson Heights is like the mini Washington Heights. And here's the reason why Jackson Heights got number 4. I didn't realize the crime rate was that high in Jackson Heights. Listen, people were still getting stabbed in Jackson Heights. We talking about they right now in the top 3 for train station stabbings. Literally, on the train, it's zicka, 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 zicka. Off the train, it's zicka, 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 zicka. You know, you got to hold the neck like this. And then zicka, zicka. Anyway. What's going on in Jackson Heights? From my remembrance, Jackson Heights projects got big buildings out there. They got them, I don't know. They should be looking like projects, but it's not really projects. Jackson Heights, I'm not going to really call super raggedy. Oh, but it's a little raggedy. It's a little raggedy over there. I ain't going to call it super raggedy. It's no Hollis, Queens. Too early for that. But Jackson Heights, a little raggedy. Y'all still stabbing people over there in Jackson Heights? What is going down in there? Jackson Heights, where did all the Crips come from? God damn, it's like niggas just went in over there and just sprinkled Crips over there. Let's do a little sprinkle of Crips over here. Zah. It's mad Crips in Jackson Heights. From what I remember when I was over there before too, it was MS-13s over there. You had, it used to be a lot of Zulus over there. Back in, it's old school stuff. Yeah, I don't know about the Zulu nations. Anyway, but I know Jackson Heights had some, everywhere in Queens had Bloods in it. But y'all just went like this, pizzazz, Crips, zah. The Lokes, y'all over there, zaka, zaka. That's how we, anyway. I'm waiting for him to get off that G train. When you get off that G train, I'm a G check, and if it ain't right, anyway. Jackson Heights. Don't go to Jackson Heights. If you do, get a car. It's no parking over there though. That's why a lot of people probably ride the train and get jigged up getting off the train, Ain't no parking in Jackson Heights. Fuck do you park at in Jackson Heights? I understand why. That's the game plan. No parking. You know they got to take the train, get you a big ass anyway. Shout out to Jackson Heights, number 4. Number 3, Queensbridge. Shout out to Nas. Shout out the Jungle. Shout out to Dave East by representation. He's a Manhattan or Harlem, Queens representative. See what I'm saying? Even when he was in Queens, he didn't quite live in Queensbridge, but he was there all the time. So Queensbridge claim him. I'm going to throw him in there as a Queens representative. Queensbridge. If y'all never been in Queensbridge before, y'all shouldn't, listen, you can't say you've been in Queens before and then A, go try to even get weed from Queensbridge. If it wasn't for weed purposes, B, you had to go there because you was either messing with a girl from there or you was trying to bag a girl from there. When you on Jamaica Avenue, that's where a lot of people, it's certain spots in Queens where you go to bag girls. You go to Jamaica Avenue, Gertz Plaza Mall, outside. It is what it is. You can go to, damn, what the hell is that mall on Baisley? On Baisley and like Guard Brewer, the smaller mall. Anyway, you go down there, you try to bag girls and stuff like that. But 9 times out of 10, when you out there trying to bag girls, they probably from Queensbridge. You can go to Sufton. You can go a couple of, one stop over, go to Sufton. There's usually a lot of people around Sufton too. Especially back in the day when Club and Missouri was jumping. If you ain't running to a girl from Queensbridge and Club and Missouri, you might be a little bit younger. Queensbridge is deadly. That same girl you probably ran there to go see, oh no, she was probably setting you up for the kill. Yeah, come see me. I live in Queensbridge. Such and such building on the 6th floor. Soon as you go in that room, get out that pissy elevator. 5 niggas with guns on you. Oh, what you doing in here? Man, listen. Queensbridge is one of the most intimidating places to walk through. If you not from Queensbridge, like me, you know what I'm saying? I done walked through mad different projects before, visiting girls, just, parties, family members. But Queensbridge is just one of those intimidating places to just walk through. It's certain, listen, Queensbridge, 40 projects, certain parts of like Baisley projects. See what I'm saying? It's just intimidating to walk through. Certain stuff is just, but Queensbridge, one of those places. Queensbridge, a lot of gang members. It's a lot of Crips in Queensbridge, a lot of Bloods in Queensbridge, a lot of guard bodies in Queensbridge. Still to this day, you go over there, peace God, peace God. Staten Island and Queens is a loaded place where you can really go to and still see a lot of guard bodies outside of 5%ers, whatever you want to call them, outside of like jail. And Queensbridge is one of those places. I'm saying you want you a nice little project chick. I need a project chick. Go get a Queensbridge. Anyway, shout out to Queensbridge, man. Some good weed, especially back in the day. Queensbridge, when you go to and find a good weed, you can find the good project hood rat. You can go find a good smoke. 9 times out of 10, if you was younger, you want to get some liquor. It's probably somebody a little older head over there. You give a little extra $5 to go grab you a bottle. But at the same time, you got to be careful going through Queensbridge. As a teenager, fun. As an adult, don't play around if you don't know nobody out there. Number 3, Queensbridge. Number 2, South Jamaica. South Jamaica as a whole. Now, I know what y'all thinking. I done mentioned a couple of places that's in South Jamaica. But when you think of Queens, and you think of sections of Queens, that's when people be like, where you from in Queens? You say certain places. You'll see I'm from Jamaica. I'm from Hollis. You know what I'm saying? You know, shit like that. I'm from Corona. You know, I don't hear too much people saying I'm from Long Island City, but yeah. See what I'm saying? But you Jackson Heights, stuff like that. But you know, South Jamaica is this whole entity as a whole. You know, so when people think of like the most gangster places, and this is not me just saying this. You know what I'm saying? When you think of like, when somebody say, oh, I'm from Queens, and they go, oh, what part of Queens you from? And they say Jamaica or South Jamaica, 9 times out of 10, you know, they done lived in the hood. If they say Bayside, Laurelton, you know, Springfield, shit like that, I'm saying, might not get the Long Island City. Nah, I'm only playing. Y'all don't play around with Long Island City. Number 10 on the list. Anyway, South Jamaica is usually the one that actually always holds weight. Especially when you mention stuff like, oh yeah, I'm from 40 Projects. See what I'm saying? 40 Projects is a place in Queens that a lot of people don't talk about that I like to always mention. They call it 40 Projects because it has 40 buildings. It's a lot of buildings. I'll be a liar to sit here and tell you that I sit there and count all 40 buildings. But when you're on the Long Island Railroad, and I forgot which track or which line it is, you ride by 40 Projects. And it's a way for you, if you ride there and you ride back and you accurate enough, you can actually count. It's a lot of buildings. It might be 40, it might not. It's a lot of buildings. But at the end of the day, 40 Projects in Baisley is like 2 projects that's kind of like predominantly 2. When I was running around there was a lot of Bloods inside of it too. But from what I'm hearing, Baisley is still the same way, but 40 Projects got Crips in it now. I'm not saying it ain't true. It's just hard for me to believe that. From what I'm hearing, Baisley's still the same way. A lot of Damus inside of it. Always been like that. But 40 Projects, they got Damus and got Crips inside of it. I can't believe. Listen, when you used to run around, especially in Jamaica, Queens, when you was on Sufton Boulevard, you could find Crips. From like Sufton Boulevard and like maybe like Liberty, maybe down to like Rockaway. See what I'm saying? You can find Crips. We talking about specifically Jamaica, Queens, and we talking about like maybe a little bit early 2000s, late 90s, stuff like that. It was hard to find, you know, it was hard to find Crips in Queens. But listen, them dollar vans, Jamaica Avenue, trust me, got a lot of experience with that. That's why I used to always be in Hollis, Queens a lot, too, at the same time. You can find Crips, you can find GDs in Hollis. But in Jamaica, it was a very small section where you could find Crips at least an abundant of Crips. Shout out to South Jamaica. Number 1, Far Rockaway. This one is going to be detailed a little bit. Crips has always been outnumbered in New York City, at least 6-1, since the mid-90s. Far Rockaway used to be one of those places where you could jump on a train, go to Far Rockaway. Far Rockaway was one of the places in Queens where you was guaranteed to find Crips. Far Rockaway is one of the only places that I know did the flip-flop. Far Rockaway, we talking about mid to late 90s, early 2000s. After that, I don't have too much big knowledge of the gang shit out there. But it used to be a lot of Crips out there. Beach Channel. You could jump on that train and it don't matter what station you get off. You get off at the beach. It's mad windy over there. People playing ball. People chilling. 9 times out of 10, it was probably Crips. I went to Far Rockaway probably like a year and a half ago. It's mad Bloods out there now. I couldn't believe it. I guess it did the flip-flop. Queens kind of did a big flip-flop. Far Rockaway used to have mad Crips in it, mad Bloods. Jamaica, Queens used to have mad Bloods in it. Still a lot of Bloods, but a lot of Crips inside of there now. You see what I'm saying? Queens did like a big flip-flop. So Far Rockaway, this is the reason why #1 in crime rate in Queens. #1 in shootings. #1 in car thefts. And, damn, what the hell is the last category? It was one more category, but you know. #1. Far Rockaway, raggedy as fuck. What's good about Far Rockaway? Y'all got a beach. Y'all like Mastic and Long Island. I mean, y'all got a beach. You got to pay a toll to drive into Far Rockaway. What? The train, nobody want to ride the train no more. As an adult, I'm not riding the train. So now you mean to tell me every time I go back and forth to work, I got to pay a toll to get over there? Once you cross that bridge and cross over that toll, it's raggedy as fuck. It looks like you living on a little island. The way they got it built up and all that now, boy, you can't go nowhere. You on there just stuck on the island, literally. I don't know why they didn't put Rikers Island over there. That they should have did. They could have built the same big ass bridge. So Far Rockaway, here's what you got to deal with. You have to deal with paying the toll every time you go back and forth. That's like a big, it's the worst for me. You pay a little bit extra to be on the water, but it's raggedy over there. It's a mixture now. Now you got mad Bloods over there, but it's also still some Crips over there. So that's where the discrepancy coming in. Also, there's also MS-13s in Far Rockaway. How did y'all end up getting all that land? How did you end up getting on Far Rockaway? Y'all pay that toll after y'all come back from work? Oh, I'm not paying the 250 I go under the bridge. Anyway. Far Rockaway. The #1 place. Don't move to Far Rockaway. Getting across that bridge when you pay that toll. Oh, it's like a gated community. It's not. They made the beach look a little nice. The schools, when you riding down, the schools look a little nice. That was the first place in Queens I seen that had 7-Eleven. But I'm telling you, oh yeah, not even like breaking into cars. Your shit gonna get broke into over there. That's like the biggest place that deal with homeless people in Queens. You know, sometimes it'll come back to you after short-term memory. Homeless people over there breaking into your shit. Come on, son. Come on, son. I'm just a Brooklyn Crip from a Harlem set. Show some respect. If not, cuz, put it in check. I'm up next. It's your boy Harlem Smiley, man. And you've been tuned into the one, the only Dirtgangtv. And if you rock with your boy, man, go cop that album, man. TalesFromAHarlemCrip is out right now. Y'all go cop that, man. And y'all definitely subscribe to the channel. If y'all rock with your boy, hit the notification bell, because we do not have a specific time frame to where we putting these videos and stuff up. We don't. You know what I'm saying? We don't have no time loop when we doing that. No time frame. None of this is planned. It's just, listen, whenever I got time, I jump on here with y'all. It is what it is. Harlem Smiley story is coming soon. Might be today. Might be tomorrow. But don't worry. It's one coming. Yeah, I know what it is, man. It's the thumb. Turn from white to blue. And if not one, put up two, man. Dirt game, man. If you're always rolling, there's always 9th Street, man.